Hello, Temple. So, what's the latest from the market space?
Well, we're seeing that that negative position actually worsening further, down some 0.20% right about now. Almost all the sectors are currently in red. We got only the industrial goods segment of the market looking fairly okay. I think it's up by some 0.27%, and of course that's due to some not so strong gains that we're seeing around Dangote Cement. It looks like something that is quite weak, that may easily be kicked off balance. But so, generally, we've seen weak volumes of transaction, although a bit higher than what we've seen, what we saw about this time yesterday in the market. The volume of transaction is about 100% higher than what we saw at about this time yesterday, and of course, compared to the close of trades yesterday. The value of transaction is actually way below the 30-day average in the market. We're down below 2 billion naira as we speak in the market. But we've been seeing Japol maintaining its momentum, but in terms of the top trades now in the market, we've seen some 60 million units of its shares traded off so far in the market. I think some huge sell-off is actually happening on that side of the market because, again, in the past few sessions, Japol had actually made some good gains. As we speak, it's down some 5% plus. Today, Cotville is another company that is now trying to maintain some volume in the market. But if you look at the movers at this point in time, again, you got the likes of Julius Berger. Julius Berger is down by 7.61%. Dangote Flour, we're seeing a whole lot of profit taking on this particular counter. This was a company that was trading at around 9, 10 naira, 11 naira when the news of Olam acquisition of the company, hits the market. So investors had thought that the upside of 26 naira, 20 kobo is something that will eventually come through. But right now, it's not looking like it's going to hit that kind of projection. What we're seeing Dangote Flour trading at now is actually lower than 17 naira, which it even closed at yesterday. So this is expected. It's a bit of a profit taking. And if another news on the acquisition by Olam, comes hitting the market, perhaps that will then be what will bring about some kind of a turnaround, but it depends on what type of news anyways. If it's a negative news, as well as it relates to the delisting of Crown, of Dangote Flour, and of course the integration of Crown Flour Mill, which is involved in Dangote Flour, then it might change the narratives around a particular company. But basically that's what we have. The banking side of the market is currently negative. We have the insurance side of the market fairly positive. But when you look at consumer goods segment and, of course, oil and gas, all of those are currently in the negative territory. For the insurance segment, we know that NEMI Insurance is one company that has been maintaining traction in recent time. And I think it also informs the reason why we are seeing a bit of demand or in that sector of the market, coupled with the gains that we saw earlier in the day around the Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC, and a couple of other names in the markets, Chimezi.
Well, in about 35 minutes from now, the market, of course, will wrap up today's trading. Is it that, we're not going to have maybe a rebound? Are you looking at that?
Well, anything can eventually happen. Sometimes some 5-10 minutes to the close of market, you could see a sudden change in the posture of trading. But what we just know so far is that the participation of investors in the market so far has been very, very weak. We haven't really seen any catalyst that will bring in some kind of a push. In fact, the company-specific news that we've been having in recent times seem to be waning at this point. The likes of Japol, we don't have information around the movement. Chams is about the only one that we understand some new investors are trying to key into. And of course, Dangote Flour, that was enjoying some good demands before now, that now seems to be waning as well. So from the look of things, we might go the same way we went yesterday. Maybe not too much losses eventually, but anything can actually happen before the close of markets. The other thing we know of is that the Association of Nigerian Accountants, and basically will be here on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange to brief the broker-dealer community regarding some kind of a partnership in the works or thereabout. And so perhaps that will be something to watch out for and to see how that will be able to help investors, know where to channel their investments to, that's their hard-earned money to. But I think one of the things that traders here are also talking about is to see some of those companies, visiting the market, giving them information regarding what is actually pushing up the prices or what is even making their prices to be, to go lower. Companies such as Japol, such as Chams PLC, are some companies that traders really want to hear from before they can then, do some more activities around these stocks. Chimezie.
Well, Temple, let's continue to keep our fingers crossed. And on that note, we say thank you for being part of the show. I'm Chimezie Obi Iwagu.